start painting the first champion that I assembled for the House Greim military attaché outcast gang. So we're going to pick some colors. I'm going to start with that soft blue color. I'm going to use a Liberty blue for the dark blue. Because I'm trying to match with my Jägerkin Auto Freeze that I already painted a while ago. So I'm going to just kind of get the colors together I need. I'm going to need a brown and a gray, silver, of course, flesh color, of course the two blues. So here is Lead Belcher. It's the silver paint I use for almost everything silver that I paint. I just love how dark it is. It usually works exactly how I want it to. So I've already started painting him with the dark blue and the light blue before I started this video, but now I'm getting the other colors. So I've got a flesh wash, the strong tone, the light tone, and the mid brown. These are all washes from Army Painter. I picked them up because Games Workshop has changed their formula for their washes, and I don't like how the new washes dry shiny. Really doesn't look good on the model. If you look at any of my models that I've painted in the last, 5 years, I use the Agrax and I use Nuln Oil for washing, and they always dry matte, and they leave kind of a color. They kind of filter the colors through the brown or the black wash, and that's what I like. I like the colors to be muted and more dirty, and if they're shiny, they don't look like that. That's not the right gray. That's the right gray. And there's black. And so I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to start looking, making sure I know what I'm going to paint. I kind of paint kind of old school. I take a base color and then I paint on the model that color where I want it to be. And once it's on there, once all of the base colors are all over the model, then I'll wash it. So I don't use contrast paints. I don't particularly like contrast paints. I don't do the slap chop method or zenithal highlighting, because zenithal and slap chop really only work with contrast paints from what I can tell. So what I do is I paint base colors and then I wash them. Generally I use Nuln Oil or I use Agrax Earthshade. I like to use a lot of craft paint for my painting. I feel like most people don't think that it's worth the time, but there have been a number of videos popping up on YouTube recently of people using craft paint, and I really do think that they work. I've been using them mainly for terrain or basing, but more recently, actually, since I started playing Necromunda in 2017, when the first Necromunda box set came out of the new edition, I've actually started using these craft paints to paint Necromunda figures, and I really do like their results. So now I'm going to use the Territorial Beige color, and I'm just going to paint his armor. Lower half, the torso armor, and then the shin armor on his legs. Again, I'm just trying to get coverage of that piece of the miniature, so I'm going to wash it later. I'm trying to compare it with my other miniature that I painted probably 6-8 months ago to make sure it's the right color. I don't know that it actually is, but I think it's close enough. And all done. So now I'm going to grab the black paint and I'm going to just go over any piece that I want to be silver. And we're going to paint black over the white of things like the gun, the chainsword, things like that. Okay, I'm going to attach them to this handle, and I'm going to paint brown. So I'm looking at the boots of the other model to try and make sure I use the right brown. I'm going to use Games Workshop's Mornvang brown here. So let's paint some brown. All right, and that is the brown done. One thing I probably won't show in this video is me going back and fixing all these colors, because I definitely go back and fix things. So looks like I'm going to fix this right now. So we're gonna skip past this. So earlier I talked about painting all of the parts black that were going to get painted silver. Well, I only painted the chainsword. So here I'm painting the combat shotgun black, and I'll go over it with a lead belcher when I'm done later. Okay, now I'm going to use Kislev Flesh. It's a Citadel color layer paint, and just going to paint his fleshy bits with this color. And now comes the lead belcher. So now I'm going to start painting some of the metal parts. First off, I'll be painting the chainsword with the lead belcher. Then I'll be painting the combat shotgun with the lead belcher. And picking out other parts of the model that are also metal. So now we come to the point in the video where I switch over to the washes. I'm going to try and use the new Army Painter washes that I got. And again, here's a good look at my Jaegerkin, who I'm trying to match the paint colors with him by using the Army Painter washes that I've not used before. So here's now a good look at the finished Champion pre-washing. We're going to start with a light tone. And this light tone is going to go over the beige armor and a number of other parts. And now we're going to switch over to the strong tone. And the strong tone I wanted to use on the darker bits, things like metal, or the gray pieces of clothing. So let's start applying that. And the last wash we're going to try is the flesh wash. This, of course, will go over the fleshy bits, like his arm and his hand and his eyes. So let's get that on there and see what that looks like. Alright, and that's it for part 1. Albrecht Sturm, my Outcast champion, is complete until the part 3 of this series. Coming up next will be Klaus Vogt, my other champion. He is weird, and I'll be painting him in the next video. Thanks for watching.